This week I'm slowing things down along Scotland's east coast, from quiet sunrises and local fresh food to hidden villages and places most people just drive past. This is what life on the road is really all about. Back in January I set off from the Scottish border, just north of Berwick, with a simple idea: to follow the entire coastline of mainland Scotland whilst living on the road as I went. Since then, the journey's taken me up the North Berwickshire coast, along the beaches of East Lothian, through the streets of Edinburgh, and along the Forth into Falkirk and the historic city of Stirling. I then crossed the Forth and went around the stunning kingdom of Fife, before moving up into Perthshire, through my home city of Dundee to here in Arbroath, along the Angus coast. And now I'm making my way further north from here towards Aberdeenshire. But before the day really begins, there's one place I want to catch at first light. No crowds, no noise, just the sound of the sea and the start of a new day. This is Lunan Bay, a stretch of the Angus coastline that feels untouched. Wide open sands, backed by dunes, and nothing but the sea in front of you. And just above it sit the ruins of the Red Castle. They've been standing watch over this part of the coast for centuries. Built in the 16th century, Red Castle has seen its share of Scotland's past, changing hands, falling into ruin, and slowly being reclaimed by the landscape around it. But it's places like this, quiet, slightly off the main road, that remind you what this journey is really all about. It's not just all the big landmarks, it's the hidden places, all the wee small moments, and the slower days along the coast that make it special. Well, not a bad start to my morning as I make my way up the sort of northeast coast of Scotland towards Aberdeen and then beyond to Fraserburgh. Lunan Bay is just a stunning beach. Used to come down here with my son and stuff like that during summer. It's a busy place in season and it's just a stunning location. Absolutely love it here, and I had to make it part of this this stop. I've never been here at sunrise before, so I looked at the weather and thought, yeah, it's definitely going to be worth it. And if you were watching at the end of my previous episode, you'll know I had a little bit more luck casting a line in the water at Auchmithie, and I caught myself a nice cod which I filleted, and I've just taken it out of the freezer just now to defrost for tonight. I'm going to make myself some fish and chips. So on the way up towards Montrose, there's actually another sort of farm shop. It's called the Upper Dysart Larder, and they've got vending machines with basically homegrown fresh produce and all the rest of it. So I'm going to try and see if I can pick up some tatties, maybe some veg to have with the fish as well. See if they've got some fresh eggs and stuff like that. So I'm going to go and check that out just now. And before I do that, I just want to put out a couple of thank yous to all my subscribers and all my followers across socials. Thanks so much for all the likes, the shares, all the comments on these videos. It really helps YouTube's algorithm recognise it as a video that they should show to more people. And obviously the hypes as well. For those of you that have figured out how to do it, thanks very much for hyping the videos as well. And for everyone that's contributed to my Buy Me a Coffee page, thank you so much. You'll know recently I bought a whole bunch of micro SD cards, memory cards for all my cameras, my drones and things like that, and that was all from those contributions. Anything that's contributed there will always go towards the creation of my content. And whether you're new here or not, if you enjoy what you watch, please remember to hit the subscribe button on here. It's free to do so, and again, it will just really help me grow my channel. Anyway, I hope you enjoy watching the rest of this episode. The next stop is at Upper Dysart Larder.
Okay, 5 minutes past 8. It is Monday the 16th of March. A very good morning to one and all. This is Top Sport Breakfast with Arnold Clark, browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Ali and Gabby are with you this morning. Now, what's on the menu this morning? I'm going to tell you.
Oh, look at that. We've got a coffee machine as well. Whoa. Chicken, bacon and leek pie. Ho ho ho. Ready to roast tatties. We'll cut to boil. Well, that was really cool. It's the first farm vending machine that I've come across on my travels so far. There used to be one actually in the Overgate in Dundee. I don't know if that's still there. They are becoming more popular. I got some of their tatties, having my fish, and I got a dozen of their eggs as well. Craignathrow eggs. They look huge. Happy days. And I'm just looking out at the field here as well. There's actually Highland coos here too. If you look on the website, Upper Dysart Larder or Farm, I think they do like farm tours and all that kind of stuff as well. And I'm assuming they're part of the Scottish agri-tourism sort of group and all that as well. Anyway, we carry on. Next stop is a place called Bodin Point. Since it's such a nice day, I think I'm going to take a walk out to the Bodin lime kilns and Elephant Rock. I honestly couldn't have picked a much better day for this stretch of coast, and actually the weather forecast for the next few days looks absolutely superb. So I'm going to get some brilliant sunrises and sunsets hopefully over the next few days, and this stretch of coast as well is just so much to see, so I'm really looking forward to showcasing it. This is a beautiful little area, and this is somewhere I've never been before. I actually know this is a really popular fishing spot, especially for winter cod here at Bodin Point. And you've got the lime kilns here as well. I've never been here before, never seen them. So looking forward to it. This site lies the remains of the lime kilns at Bodin Point, built here on the Angus coast in the late 1600s. Today, large sections have already been lost to erosion, and with parts of the structure now unstable, it's no surprise to see warnings to stay clear. At one time this was one of the largest limeworks in Scotland, producing lime used to improve farmland and support construction across the region. The kilns were abandoned in the early 1800s, and ever since the North Sea has been slowly reclaiming the site. What's left standing here now is a reminder of both Scotland's industrial past and the power of the coastline itself. I would have loved to have put my drone up here to let you see it, but the wind is totally picked up. Let's say the mic gives a false sense of security. I'll turn it off, let you. It's a really nice spot here. I can understand why this would be a good fishing mark. There's plenty of rocky, sort of rough ground, the type that cod like, and you're kind of sticking out quite far from the shore at this point as well, so yeah, I might have to come back here and do a bit of fishing at some point. It looks a really nice spot. I don't have time today, unfortunately. I've got quite a lot planned. It's absolutely stunning because you've got the cliffs at both sides. You've got cliffs over that way towards Lunan Bay, which is the beach we were at earlier. And then you've got the cliffs over this side as well. Now, somewhere in here is a natural landmark called Elephant Rock. So it gives you a bit of a clue as to what it looks like. Again, I've never been here, never checked it out. So I'm gonna go up onto the road and try and find the trail along the cliffs and see if I can find it. And show you what it looks like. Oh, what's going on with this? Here we go. Let's go. Well, I've made it. I'm here at Elephant Rock and I am not disappointed. This is so cool. Look at that. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Look at those rocks. Absolutely incredible. I'm not disappointed in the slightest. You can actually go right down to it as well. Probably another good fishing mark. But this whole sort of coastal area is just stunning. I mean, right from like Arbroath, I mean, the cliffs there are unreal, and the rock here's changed. It's not the same. Doesn't look the same. I think I might chance my luck here. Cue the dramatic drone shots. Oh. It's freezing. Oh, heater on. Oh, what a great start to the day. It is lovely out there, but it's bloody freezing. Absolutely Baltic. And that's honestly such a lovely cliff walk. Highly recommend that. It was really good. There wasn't any really like dangerous or steep bits. I did see a couple of signs. you know, for like loose rocks and erosion, which you would tend to get on most sort of cliff walks. But it was absolutely fine, and Elephant Rock was really cool. I'm just going to head a little bit further up the coast now. It's only a few miles really to the town of Montrose. Now there's an incredible tale and story in Montrose about a famous Norwegian dog, and it's one that I have to share with you. And for those of you watching from Norway, and I know I do have viewers from Norway, so if you are from Norway or you're Norwegian, you might well already know the dog that I'm talking about. Buried here in Montrose is one of the most unlikely wartime heroes. Not a soldier, but a dog. Bamse, which means teddy bear in Norwegian, was a St Bernard brought to Scotland during the Second World War with the Royal Norwegian Navy. But he quickly became much more than a mascot. He was known for breaking up fights between sailors, stepping in between them, and placing his paws on their shoulders to calm them down. On one occasion, when a crew member fell overboard, Bamse jumped into the water and dragged him back to safety. But my favourite story is what Bamse used to do when the sailors missed curfew. Bamse would often catch the local bus from Montrose to Dundee, riding with a bus pass attached to his collar. He'd get off at the bus station and head into the pubs, places like the Bodega Bar, now Tickety Booze, searching for his crew. If he found them, he'd guide them back to the ship, and if he didn't, he'd simply catch the bus home on his own. He became a symbol of morale, of loyalty, and of protection, not just for the Norwegian crew, but for the people of Montrose too. After his death in 1944, he was buried here with full military honours, and his legacy didn't end there. In 2006, Bamse was posthumously awarded the PDSA Gold Medal, one of the highest honours an animal can receive for bravery and devotion. Today, he's remembered as the Royal Norwegian Navy's most famous mascot, with memorials both here in Scotland and back home in Norway. It just goes to show you that even in the darkest moments of war, sometimes it's the smallest, most unexpected characters that leave the biggest legacy. Well, after paying my respects to that remarkable Norwegian war dog, I've come into Montrose now. This car park here, the Baltic Street car park, it's a short stay, but it is free, which is handy. And I'm going to take a short walk into the town to check out one of the first purpose-built museums in Scotland. Hiya, how you doing? Very good, thanks. Montrose Museum is one of the oldest purpose-built museums in Scotland. First opened in 1842. Set over 3 floors, it tells the story not just of Montrose, but of the wider area, from local history and industry to art, nature, and the people who shaped this part of the coast. Inside, you'll find everything from archaeological finds and maritime heritage to exhibitions on science, wildlife, and everyday life in the town across the centuries. It's the kind of place you could easily walk past, but step inside and there's a lot more here than you might expect. And like all museums in Scotland, entry is completely free, making it accessible to everyone. But places like this rely on support to keep their doors open, so if you do visit, leave a small donation and help to ensure that these stories continue to be shared for years to come. Oh, what a lovely wee hidden gem of a museum that was. It's just a small museum on 3 levels, but it's really good actually. When you read all the placards, it's got a lot of history about the local area and Montrose itself. It's actually really, really good. I'd highly recommend it. I am now getting a little bit hungry, so I'm going to head to a place I've not been to before, but it's meant to be quite good. A place called Salty's. And I don't know, the burgers look good. I think I might get myself the sliders, which are like mini burgers with different toppings on them. But I'm pretty hungry, so I'm going to go and try it and see what it's like. I would have loved to have gone to see the House of Dun, which is here, and it's looked after by the National Trust for Scotland. However, it's closed at this time of year, unfortunately. It would have been good. The other place I would have liked to have seen as well in Montrose was the sort of, I don't know what you would call it, aviation museum. Or RAF Montrose and all that. The planes and everything in there. But again, it's only open, I think, at the weekend. So, have to miss that. I'm going to go and grab some food here at Salty's. And then I'm going to drive just up the coast slightly to a place called St Cyrus. And there's a car park there at the beach that you can park in overnight. And they've got an honesty box for you to make a donation. I actually think that there's black waste disposal there. I don't need to use that. But for anyone watching that's got a motorhome or a camper van and, you know, you've got black waste or chemical toilet, stuff like that, you can empty it there for like a £5 or something like that. But I'm starving now, so I'm looking forward to these. I think I'm going to definitely get the sliders. Hi pal. Cheers. Right, so Salty's, honestly superb. The staff were so friendly as well. And those sliders, they're the best sliders I think I've ever had. And all the other food that was coming out that I was seeing going to other tables looked great. You know, plenty of people in there as well on a cold Monday afternoon. And you could just imagine what this would be like in summer. It would be buzzing, especially with that sort of seating area they've got in the garden, if you like. There's loads of land around here. But it's really smart. It's really, really good. They've done a great job with the interior as well. It just looks amazing. Kind of that Hawaiian, I don't know, beach hut style kind of decor. I just love all that and all those sort of quirky signs that they've got everywhere. But I'm going to go and get parked up now, head to St Cyrus Beach, get parked up, and then that'll be me. Right folks, so I got parked up and it's time to cook now. So the cod that I caught at Auchmithie, I'm going to basically put an egg in the plate, whip it up, get some breadcrumbs on them, just like I did when I bought the fresh haddock from the fishmonger right at the start in episode 1 of this series down in Eyemouth. I'm just basically going to breadcrumb it. I did get those potatoes from the Upper Dysart larder at the start of this, well, near the start of this episode as well. Peeled and ready to either roast or to boil. So I think that's them there. What I'm going to do, I think I might just put a bit of olive oil on them, season them with some salt and pepper, and then stick them in my Omnia oven and roast them. So I think I'll do that now. And then other than that, I've just got some long stem broccoli to have. Oh, I've got, of course, lemon for the fish, and I will have some actual butter in here as well. Yeah, I've got some proper butter as well. So I'll get these potatoes on and then take it from there. How long do they take to roast? They're going to take around about 30 minutes. Quite a lot of gas to use, but that'll be worth it. And like always, folks, anything that you see me using in the van, whether it's this Omnia oven or pretty much anything, you can find it in my Vanlife Essentials Amazon storefront, and the link to my Amazon storefront's in the description of this video. There's also one there for filming equipment, so all my cameras, my mounts, everything I use for filming, that's all in there as well. Just in case anyone's interested in having a little nosy, you can use that link. Now those potatoes are looking fantastic. I think they're pretty much ready. So, gonna take them off the heat and then get the rest cooked. Butter. Lots of butter. And I like to put in a little bit of olive oil with butter as well, just a touch, because I find it smokes slightly less, which is obviously handy in the van. I will need to open this door a little bit though. It's really windy outside though, but hopefully it's alright. Now the fish isn't going to take long at all. Oh, potatoes, brilliant. Oh, love it. It's quite chunky, these fillets. I've already squeezed a bunch of lemon on it anyway, but squeeze out a little bit more. Definitely cooked a little bit too much here. I forgot how big that fish was. I think I'm gonna end up nibbling on it tonight to get it finished. To me, it's all broken up now, but it's gonna be delicious nonetheless. Right, some broccoli. And a touch of salt and pepper again, and then I'm just gonna put a little bit of garlic on it as well. It makes such a difference when you know where you're fishing. You know, it's not like you're just throwing in a line and kind of hoping for the best, not really knowing exactly where the marks are, where the gullies are and things like that. Like, I've fished at Auchmethy loads of times, so it does make a huge difference to your possibility of success. But for me, I mean, there's no better way to enjoy your dinner than to have one that you've caught yourself, in my opinion. And, you know, it's not like you're just throwing in a line and hoping for the best. these potatoes from the Dysart Upper Farm Shop for that vending machine are very, very good. I'll definitely be getting them again. They've roasted really well in that Omnia oven too, so I'm really, really, really impressed. But I'm going to enjoy the rest of this meal, do a little bit of editing, and then I'll see you in the morning. Hey, good morning, folks. So, actually slept in a little bit today. Just got the engine running at the moment just to get a little bit of charge in my Bluetti. I'm just about to have a wee cuppa. I'm parked up, as you know, at the St Cyrus Nature Reserve, so I'm going to have a cuppa, do a little bit of exercise, and I'm considering getting my shower out, which will be the first time in this series. And that's maybe a good 3 months. Like, I rarely use it, but I'm going to have to start using it a bit more now. Just because of, on this road trip where I am, there's just not obviously as many. Like, I know normally when I'm travelling around Scotland and I spend a lot of the time in the Highlands, I know where all the public showers are and where everything is. And there are some here, you know, the sports centres and towns and things like that, absolutely. But I'm just thinking, if I could just get into a habit maybe of using it a bit more than I normally would, then yeah, it won't be such a big deal, because it is a bit of a faff, but I just think I may as well get into it and just use it a little bit more often than I would. But one of the main reasons I don't use it as well is just purely for water consumption. You know, so my boiler will heat 10 litres of water in about 15 minutes to 40 degrees Celsius, which is a nice temperature. So a 10 litre, you know, the shower heads have got like on-off switches on them, different modes. But it is a case of basically getting yourself wet and soaked, then washing, and then rinsing. It's not like continuous shower type thing, even for 10 litres of water. But it's quite a lot of water out the tank, you know, 120 litre tank. So if you end up using it regularly and you have a couple of showers a week, say, or maybe even say 3 showers a week. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but especially with so many other places available to have showers. But even a couple a week, it's 20 litres a week just for a shower for me. You know, I can manage it if it's just me, but you can imagine how difficult that might be if you were a couple living in a van together, you know. And maybe one of you had to go to work and stuff a few days a week or whatever, so you needed access to showers. Obviously there's gyms if you're in a particular city and things like that, but we'd use a lot of water every single week. So that's one of the reasons I don't do it, because I just like conserving my water, using it for coffee instead. Cod liver oil every morning. I've got my vitamins. It's 5 different vitamins I take in the morning. I can't rattle off my head exactly what they are, but it's just different vitamins. And in my coffee, a little bit of collagen. I've just started using this. I haven't used it before. That's my first bag of it. My girlfriend, she uses it. It has made quite a big difference to her, so I thought, well, I may as well just give it a go. If I can actually see it on her, then why not? And you don't taste that one at all, the Nutrition Geeks one. You don't taste it in the slightest, so it doesn't ruin my coffee or anything like that, which is good. Well, this is... Check my comments in the morning on YouTube, and I'll reply to as many of them as I can in the morning. And then later on at night, I'll check Facebook and Instagram and stuff. I don't have time to check them during the day. But depending on how the posts have gone, I mean, it's impossible to reply to everyone. I used to spend 2 to 3 hours a day, more likely 3, just responding to comments on social media. I don't do it anymore. I can't. Especially with the filming schedule and this road trip and all that. It's just, it's literally impossible. I mean, it's very, very difficult managing to do what I'm doing now every single week and producing these episodes and posting 5 times a day on Facebook, Instagram and all that. I mean, it's a lot. So replying to comments, I've had to just accept that I'm not going to get to them. Simple as that. The only other thing that I do every morning is I will go on to Facebook and search for my real name, David Honeyman, look at the people and see if there's any copycat accounts, and if there is, I'll report and block them. I do the same thing for Scottishmaninavan. No, we're good on Facebook, and I'll do the same for Instagram. No, we're good on there. TikTok, there's just absolutely no point because there's so many. They just don't remove them. I mean, look at that. Look at that. All these Scottishmaninavans. As you can see, I've reported them, I've blocked them and all the rest of it. But that's TikTok for you. It's an absolute cesspit. It really is. I can't stand that platform. But I post there anyway. But I honestly can't stand it. Right, so it's just dawned on me actually that during this entire series, and for a lot of people watching, you've never seen how this seat turns into a shower, have you? I thought, you know what, I'll just show you exactly how it works, why not? So I'm just gonna quickly put all this sort of stuff away first, the laptop and that. Now of course this whole area is basically my bathroom. So inside this seat you've got my composting toilet, which is my Trolino composting toilet here, which I've had now for a good couple of years. Brilliant toilet. The good thing about composting toilet is there's no smell from them whatsoever. Obviously there's no chemical use, there's no use of any type of liquid or water or any cleaning stuff like that. The only thing I've got for cleaning it is their Holy Shine, which is all, you know, biodegradable and all the rest of it. So yeah, that's it. So you'll see here, I'll just use my other camera for this, so you'll see what this actually looks like in here. So inside this seat there's a shower mat, and you can actually see there's a drain, there's a plug there for the drain hole, and that basically is plumbed in with my sink as well, and it goes to my grey waste tank underneath the van. And all I do is basically put a curtain, like a shower curtain, up around there. I'll show you what I mean. So take my little guitalele off the wall. You can see I've already got my suction cup, shower head, hose. I lost my little shower rings, so I'll have to use cable ties today. Like I said, I've used this shower in 3.5 years. You're lucky if I've used it a dozen times. No word of a lie. And then I've got my shower head, and this is actually a really good one. I find it dead useful. So you've got different options for basically the spray, and this bit one at the back here is really good for blasting stuff basically. So you can use it, I mean, it hooks up to here, to this tap, so I can use it outside if I need to like quickly do, like get mud off boots or whatever it may be. And yeah, it is quite handy, I must admit. But this just basically attaches onto the sink. That just screws on there, and that's the shower head, and that basically just goes in here, and then I can clip it on to that. But that's the shower set up. I'm just going to stick my boiler on now, which is under the sink here, and it'll heat the water in about 15 minutes to 40 degrees. And then that's it, I'll have my shower. Right, so as you can see, the place is an absolute mess now. You know, there's just stuff everywhere. And like, don't get me wrong, it is not the most comfortable of showers. In fact, I can turn that fan off now actually. It's not the most comfortable of showers. You know, the shower curtain sticks to you when you're in there and all that. I mean, before what I used to do was I would cut this to length, and then I staple gunned it on the inside of the seat, and the shower curtain stayed in there. I would just take the toilet out, pull the shower curtain up, and then, you know, hook it up, and then it would stop that from happening. I mean, it is just such a small space in that seat though. I'm quite wide in my frame, but that did help. It's helped stop it. But then you would have to leave this up in here all day to obviously dry out and all the rest of it, and it was staple gunned in there, you know, before putting my toilet and everything back in, otherwise it would just get all damp and stuff. So I just thought, you know, for the amount that I use it, I'll just get another curtain and I'll just throw it up, and then now all I'm going to do is cut that off and hang it up inside my cab on my bungee cord that I've got going across the cab along with my towel. And then that's going to be the easiest way to do it. And then it's just a case of drying out the bottom and everything that's there, basically giving it a wee clean, drying it out, and then putting the toilet and everything back in there. And then that means everything can go back to the way it was, and I can sit down. You know, like I could never have a shower before when I had to let that dry, you know, and then have to drive somewhere after, because the toilet wasn't anywhere secure, and I'm not going to put the toilet up on my bed or that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was just it's one of these things. So I'm just going to go and hang this up, and then get my towel hanging up there as well, get everything back and tidied up again, because this mess is no good for me. I can't stand it when it's like this. So I'm gonna just get everything tidy up again, and then go and check out this nature reserve for the first time. So after checking out the beautiful St Cyrus beach and nature reserve, I decided it was time to carry on up the coast towards Stonehaven. My next stop was the historical fishing harbour and village of Johnshaven to see if I could grab myself a wee lobster roll from the lobster shop. But first I had to negotiate this little back road. Now, if you're not used to driving on single track roads and using passing places, then I would avoid attempting to drive them if you're in a very large vehicle like a motorhome. You'll just annoy the local communities that depend on these roads if you're not able to follow the standard etiquette required to drive them. Ah no, nightmare. It's closed. Ah, what a shame. The lobster shop is closed. Gutted. Oh well, never mind. Gonna see if I can get somewhere to park. Just gonna have a little wander about then. Johnshaven is one of those small fishing villages that still feels quietly rooted in its past. A working harbour, tight-knit community, and a pace of life shaped by the sea. It's not somewhere you'll find big crowds or major attractions, but that's exactly the point. Places like this aren't built for tourism, they're lived in, and that's what makes them special. From here, I'm continuing north along the coast, heading towards places like Gourdon and Inverbervie. Small communities that sit right on the edge of the North Sea before making my way to Croton, where one of the most spectacular coastal waterfalls on the northeast coast of Scotland waits, just beyond the cliffs. But before we get there, we're heading to Gourdon. In this phone box, they've got a defibrillator, but there's a little free library here. See if there's anything in it. Yeah, look. Little library. Very cool, isn't it? Just driving into Inverbervie. I just can't believe the weather. I've got this whole week's looking fantastic, so I'm over the moon, delighted. I want to go and see a little sort of statue stroke memorial. Imagine some people watching this, many people watching this might be familiar with the Cutty Stark ship. If you are, you might know what we're about to go and see and why. But if not, don't worry, I'm about to tell you. This is the Hercules Linton Memorial here in Inverbervie, a tribute to one of Scotland's most influential shipbuilders. Linton was the designer of the Cutty Sark, one of the fastest tea clippers ever built, launched in 1869 and still one of the most famous ships in the world today. But his connection to Scottish history goes further than that. The Cutty Sark takes its name from a character in Robert Burns's poem Tam O'Shanter, a reference to the short shirt worn by the witch Nanny Dee. So here in this small coastal town, you've got a link between engineering, literature, and one of the most iconic ships ever built. A real hidden gem. But now it was time for me to check out Croton Waterfall for the first time. It's a typical single track road with passing places. There's a pheasant. Don't you go in front of the van. Honestly, they're not the brightest, like the old pheasants. They really are not. That was someone not from here doing their going naturally to their right. You do get that quite a lot, especially up in the Highlands and further up north where you've got a lot more of these single track roads. People just aren't used to them in other countries. But the one thing I would say, if you do come here, maybe you're not familiar or used to using them, just make sure, just the one bit of advice I would give is, I mean, you'll get used to it because you'll see people doing it when you're here. But the one thing I would just say is make sure you wave to people. So if someone pulls in and lets you come down the road so you can drive by, give them a little wave, say thank you. They'll wave back. And even if you've waited for someone else to come and pass, if it was your opportunity for you to go into a passing place and let them by, as they're coming by, give them a little wave. Even though they've not waited for you, it's just an acknowledgement. You're both in it together. It's just being polite, and that's what we do here. Just give people a little wave, and honestly, it'll give you so much favour with locals and with people that are used to driving on these roads, because we understand that a lot of people aren't used to it. But having just that little bit of courtesy honestly goes a long way. Just if I wait for someone, or even if they've waited for me, but especially if I've waited for someone and they go past and I give them a little wave because I've waited for them, I'm still going to give them a wave. We do it both ways. And they don't wave to say thank you for waiting. Oh, it does my tits in. So if you come visiting and you're not used to those roads, just remember that's one simple rule. Always just give a little wave or a little acknowledgement. Whether you've waited or whether they've waited, it does not matter. Right, so it's just a very short walk from the parking to Croton Waterfall, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's quite tepid at the moment, but if it had been raining and it was powerful, this would look unbelievable. I'll show you. You know what, I could actually sit here for hours just listening to those birds, watching them, that waterfall as well. It's just beautiful. Absolutely sensational. And I have noticed something else. There's a car down there. Look, see if I can zoom in a little bit. See if you can see it, look. That is a car. Not good, but that is quite something. Oh, there's a rainbow at the bottom of it. You can see going halfway up. Can you see that? Well, I've been here now for about an hour. It's time to go, and I'm gonna go and get parked up just along the road in Stonehaven, and that's where I'm gonna kick off next week's episode. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't done so already. The more subscribers I get, the more it'll help me grow this channel. So I really appreciate all your support. So have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday, starting off in Stonehaven and making our way up to Aberdeen. Like and subscribe for more van life adventures.